Dude stole my lunch for his kids and chaos ensued. Lady thought she could use my guest room as a free Airbnb because she's a single mom. My boyfriend's mom showed up to my apartment to inspect it before deciding if he's allowed to move in with me. My mom tried to take my adult card because it made her feel embarrassed. The mom who demanded my boyfriend give up his seat on his own birthday dinner. Welcome back to another video, guys. Today we're going to be reading stories from the r/EntitledParents subreddit. Entitled parents low-key are the worst, and a lot of the times it's like Karens. So I feel like we're also going to be getting a lot of Karen stories here today. Dude stole my lunch for his kids and chaos ensued. Well, this is a first for me. I went to lunch at a local place known for their fried chicken sandwiches. I had to sit outside because the place was packed, but they have plenty of covered seating and some nice fans. So even though it was 95 degrees, it was tolerable. Okay, 95 degrees for everyone that is normal is 35 degrees Celsius. Yeah, that's hot.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Especially if you're standing in the burning sun. So it's nice that they gave umbrellas and fans. Anyway, I sit down and already know what I want to order. So even though the table service was slow due to them being super busy, I got my order in on the waiter's first pass. However, the table behind me was already occupied by this incredibly obnoxious couple and their teenage son. I could overhear them simultaneously arguing about what to order and also complaining about the slow service. I guess they were in another waiter's section though, because they were still waiting to order after the waiter left my table. They finally got someone to their table and ordered, but with complaints. Poor waiter. Less than 10 minutes later, here comes my food. Oh, hell no, yelps to dad. Bro, I'm just imagining this is like somewhere in like southern United States. Oh, hell. Oh, shit, voice crack. Oh, hell. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Shit, I don't even know how to do a southern accent. That dude got here 10 minutes after us and he gets his food first? Oh, hell no. Yeah, maybe something like that. You guys could let me know. I'm pretty sure that was mid. At first, I think he's complaining to the waiter, but no, these comments are directed at me. Hey asshole, why come? What the fuck? Yes, this is apparently idiocracy, and he literally said that word, why come? Oh God, this guy is just giving me the biggest hillbilly vibes right now, dude. Like hillbilly, redneck, fucking mullet and everything, dude. Lifted truck. You got your sandwich first, eh? You hear me? I ignore him, but this guy gets up and walks up behind me, then literally steals my plate from the table before I'd even taken a bite. You can wait, motherfucker, my kid's hungry. If someone snatches your food, I think you are allowed to fight them. Like then and there, just boom. At this point, I haven't heard a word from this kid's mouth, so if he was hungry, he was speaking only with his baleful puppy eyes. Eat it, says the dad. Okay, here's the thing. This place does spicy chicken. They have like 7 levels of spice, and George likes his spicy chicken. I ordered the next to the hottest option, which is a combination of Scotch bonnet and ghost pepper sauce, not pure ghost pepper. It's hot enough to make you cry, and as my kids say, I've burned off most of my taste buds. And this kid, at his a-hole dad's urging, chows down before I could even stand up and protest. I don't think the kid should suffer because of like the stupidity of the dad, but if we're gonna blame anyone, blame the dad, because who takes someone's food off the table and gives it to their kid or anyone for that matter? If you do this, you better be ready to fight, because depending on get rocked. Like before I can even stand up and say what the actual fudge dickweed, this kid had taken a Cookie Monster bite out of a sandwich that is slathered in 1 million Scoville sauce. And the gagging is immediate. I can almost guarantee you that the dad is gonna blame the person he just stole the sandwich from and say, why are you giving my kid this? Why are you giving my kid this 1 million Scoville sandwich? He's gonna definitely blame the guy and say, this is all your fault. You're gonna have to compensate me. The IQ is just so incredibly low, it's like single digits. You know that frat party you went to your sophomore year where they were chugging jungle juice and the sound from the backyard 30 minutes in? Yeah, that. He's gagging, choking, then vomiting all over his dad. His mom is screaming. The people at the table next are jumping up. Plates are falling. A-hole dad is screaming at me, "What did you do to my son?" And I just start laughing. Dude, if I feel bad for the kid, I really do. That is insanely spicy. They sound like really redneck, so they probably have not even had even pepper, like ground pepper on their food. So it's probably zero seasoning. So this is like the first spice he's probably ever had. That is painful. He needs some milk.
I want milk.
I'm standing there at my picnic table while the circus erupts around me. 2 waiters come running over. Dad is screaming. Kid is still wheezing and choking. Mom is crying. One person at the next table over is literally crying with laughter. Another looms like he's about to vomit. Laughing guy speaks up and steps between the dad and me, who looks like real life human anger from inside out. We explain what happened to the manager, who since showed up, as evidenced by the fact that their order is just showing up. Anyway, they pack up their meals to go, tell them they are not allowed back at this establishment, start cleaning up, and the manager takes me inside, gives me a replacement meal, a $50 gift card, and asks me to please not write a negative review or press charges. So that happened. 2025, y'all, it's wild here. Holy shit, dude. That is actually, that's funny. Now let's read some comments. First comment, write a good review. Oh, I did. I've been going there for years. Yeah, I would write a good review because the establishment did nothing wrong. They did nothing wrong at all. It's these weird ass hillbillies that think they could take someone else's food and cause all this scene, man. I hate how the dad's stupidity caused the son to eat something spicy. I wish the dad would have ate that, man. I feel like that would have been even funnier. The Boogie Monster commented, he walked over, called him a motherfucker, took his food, walked back to his table, gave the food to his son, told him to eat, and the son eat this stranger's food all before you had time to say anything. We need a tag for these made up stories. I don't know. I feel like this is real. This is really realistic because people would do this shit. And the thing is, if someone takes your food and you know it's spicy and they're about it, like eat it and stuff, are you gonna say, "Oh no, stop! Don't eat my food. It's super spicy," or are you gonna be like, "Let karma handle it"? So I assume this guy knew what would happen, so he just let karma deal with it. Someone else commented, it's a bummer for sure. Kid is innocent here, but if there's a positive for him, it's that maybe he'll have more courage to say no to his dad the next time he rages out like that. Someone else commented, it's my guacamole story rewritten. I spent a long while in my childhood knowing I don't like guacamole. I don't know why. Maybe the texture, the smell, the green, who knows. But being a California native, the dareness of my dislike of the guac was only something to gawk at, per my mother. I'm 5 years old. We're at this restaurant that my mom waitresses at. She brings the table, my stepdad, younger sister, and I think 2 or 3 of their friends, a few appetizers, which were mozzarella sticks, fried pickles, and chips and guac. I'm told if I want my real dinner, I need to eat 1 bite of guac. Okay, yeah, 1 bite's not too bad, I'll be honest. I already ate 3 mozzarella sticks, so I can't say I'm not hungry. But also I can't say I want to wait for my dinner, but I don't like guac. You've never even tried it, but I know I don't like it. Come on, kid, it's just 1 bite. Nope. Nope. Finally, I cave and take bite and my stomach churns. About 5 minutes later, but what felt like the quickest 3 seconds of my life, our regular food gets there. I've got a plate of spaghetti in front of me, and while that's my favorite, I throw up over the entire table. All over my mom, my sister, everyone's food. Ooh, dude, this was like projectile vomit. It's in my spaghetti, it's in the diaper bag, it's in my mom's lap, and everyone's yelling while I continue to gag into my bowl. The waitress comes by to see the commotion and starts gagging too. Ew. I don't remember too much for the rest of the night. I got taken outside to the cold air and we walked home instead of getting into the car again. It was only 2 streets over. But I do know that I never got argued with about food again in my mom's house. All I ever had to say was guac and the reminder was there. Though that wasn't the only fights we ever had. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really have a projectile vomiting story, but I have a story. One time I was at this summer camp and we were on these big long benches. I was really young, maybe 8 years old. And I remember we're eating our food and I was just with a bunch of my friends. Someone is telling a funny story or something. And I remember I was eating and I was drinking water. Someone said something so funny and we're all young, so we're all laughing, but I just drank a bit of water and I couldn't hold it in and I spit it all over the person in front of me. It was just they were covered in the food that was in my mouth and water all over their face, their body, and their food, and a little bit on the sides, but mainly on them. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I still remember this. He was just sitting there shocked. Everyone was laughing, and after that, it was just complete shock, dude. I remember I felt so bad. I helping him clean up, and he's washing his face. He's like, ew, that's so gross. Yeah, then he had to go get new food and stuff. But if I'm really laughing, dude, I really try not to drink water because I sometimes cannot hold it in. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that, drinking water, someone says something and you just spit it out because you can't hold it in. Oh, funny times. Lady thought she could use my guest room as a free Airbnb because she's a single mom. This happened last week, Thursday to be specific. I called up a friend of mine, Sarah, and asked her if she wanted to come over for dinner since I was making way too much food and I like to share. She said that she had a friend visiting from out of town and asked her if her friend could come along. I said that was fine. Hey, the more the merrier, right? Fast forward about an hour and my friend knocks on the door. She's got another woman with her and 2 kids I've never seen in my life. The unknown people had bags with them, which made sense to me since they were visiting and probably didn't have time to stow their stuff before coming over. The kids were unexpected and I really would have liked to have a heads up that they were coming. Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit inconsiderate and rude to like not say, oh, I have kids, by the way, they'll be coming. Is that okay? Like, I understand maybe it was like a last minute thing or maybe they forgot, but if you're going over to someone else's place, especially if you don't know them, your friend should have said, oh, can my friend come? But also, you know, she has kids, is that okay? Because especially if it's like for something for dinner, because maybe, what if you don't have enough food and then it's like awkward, then it's like, okay, now I have to order food since you're the host. Then all of a sudden you're like hosting a bunch of people when you were really just wanted to spend time with your friend, you know? Anyway, the mom actually asked me if she could stash her bags somewhere that would be out of the way. I took her to one of my guest rooms and told her she could put them there. Then I went back to the group. The kids asked if I had video games, which I very much do, so I took them to the games room and showed them my consoles/PCs. They seemed quite chuffed. I head back to the kitchen to finish up cooking while Sarah, Ashley, my wife, and our girlfriend hung out in the living room, watching some reality TV brain rot. Everyone was happy. I ring the chow bell. I literally ring a brass bell in my kitchen to alert people when food is being served and start bringing food into the dining room. The adults come in, my kids come in, my grandkids come in. Oh my, dude, there's a lot of people. There are a lot of people in this house. I thought there was just like the friend and her. Ashley's kids were still in the game room. I went to let them know that dinner was being served and they asked to have plates brought to them in the game room. I explained that we don't do that in my house. Everyone eats at the table and no food is allowed in the game room. They begrudgingly complied and followed me to the dining room. Things were going well. Everyone enjoyed the food. Birria tacos with rice and beans and side salad. This sounds like good food, dude. We enjoyed a few drinks, nothing crazy, just 2 to 3 drinks each, and we had some nice conversation. When I got up to get dessert, homemade flan. Yeah, this person is definitely Mexican, I would assume. Ashley wandered back to the guest room where her stuff was. After we ate dessert, Ashley told her kids it was time to get changed for bed. I found this strange. Who put their pajamas on in a place where they don't intend to sleep? I asked her, why not wait until you're at your hotel to get them changed? At this point, I got a bomb dropped on my head. She didn't have a hotel reservation. Turns out, she had set up sleeping bags for her kids in my guest room since we have so much space. Ma'am, I've never met you before tonight. I did not offer you my guest room to sleep in. Turns out, she hadn't booked any accommodation for her family because she knew Sarah had a rich friend with a big house. She fully intended to stay at my house without ever asking either me or Sarah. I got a guilt trip from Ashley, not Sarah. Okay, that's good. If your friend was starting to guilt trip you, then that would be a problem, but she wasn't. About not supporting single mothers. They ended up having to book a room at the local casino hotel. $300 a night for 9 nights. Apparently I cost a single mother 2 months worth of rent since I didn't want strangers in my house for 9 fucking days. Yeah, it sucks that she had to pay all this in rent, but 1, it's her poor planning, and 2, you are not responsible for someone else and their, you know, bad like scheduling and bad management skills. It's not your responsibility. How entitled do you have to be to just assume a stranger will put you and your kids up and for over a week? Pretty entitled, I assume. Let's read some comments. Why didn't Sarah question why her friend was carrying all of her belongings into your house? Like what? I can only imagine that she figured her friend was not going to leave the bags in her car for safety reasons. Still leaves the question how the topic, the rich friend with big house, came up at all. Someone else commented, Sarah knew and was in on it, hoping you'd be guilted into letting them stay. Sarah isn't the friend you thought she was. She absolutely expected that you would be too polite to say no, and it backfired badly. The only ones at fault here is Sarah and her friend. Yeah, Sarah's weird. I don't know. I hope Sarah didn't know because it sounded like if you're close enough to invite your friend over for dinner, I assume it's a close friend. So I hope Sarah wouldn't be this type of person, you know? I urge you to sometimes not give people the benefit of the doubt. Sarah is either being manipulated by this friend or Sarah is teaming up to manipulate you/your family. Yeah, because it's also weird. Why would Sarah talk about, oh, my rich friend to Ashley? Because that's where Ashley got the idea of rich friend. So even if Sarah wasn't involved at all, she's still talking about your finances and your like economic financial situation, which is weird and odd to someone that's a complete stranger, putting your business just out there for anyone. That, I think that needs to be addressed with Sarah, because that's not right. Next story. My boyfriend's mom showed up to my apartment to inspect it before deciding if he's allowed to move in with me. Is your boyfriend perchance, shit, 8 years old? Huh? 10 years old, 12 years old? Like, come on, dude. Grown man. If you're old enough to move in with your partner, I don't think you need to have your mom like inspecting and doing all this stuff. It's weird behavior. Definitely a mama's boy. Definitely a mama's boy. So my boyfriend Jake and I have been together for almost 2 years, and we recently decided he's going to move into my apartment that I pay for, and I had lived in alone for 3 years. Jake is 26 years old. Okay, so, you know, he's old. I found out last Thursday when my neighborhood texted me saying there was a woman in the hallway taking pictures of the building entrance and asking other tenants questions about noise levels and what kind of people live here. I came home on my lunch break and she was literally standing in my hallway with a notepad. His mom introduced herself very warmly, said Jake had mentioned the move and she just wanted to see where her son would be living before things got too far along. She asked if she could come inside to check the layout. I said no. She looked genuinely surprised, like that was an unreasonable response. The mom is acting weird. She's babying the boyfriend too much. This is like controlling parent. I feel like the boyfriend probably doesn't like this, and he's probably just, his mom has been like this always, like really controlling and everything about him, like super like protective, like helicopter mom, and he's 26. She then told me she had some concerns about the neighborhood and wanted to discuss house rules in case Jake moves in, including whether it would be okay with her having a separate key for visits. I told her this wasn't something we were going to discuss at my front door without Jake present, and that showing up unannounced to evaluate my home was not something I was comfortable with. She left but texted Jake that I was hostile and that she thinks we're rushing things. Jake apologized and says she does stuff like this, but he looked genuinely embarrassed. I like him a lot, but the idea that his mom sees my home as a space she gets veto power over is making me rethink the whole timeline of this move, honestly. And that's genuinely fair. Because yes, you've been with this person for like 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. Only now you're starting to see what his mom looks like. First of all, maybe that's like a little bit weird to me, a little bit odd that you never noticed that his mom is like a helicopter mom like this. By the sounds of it, Jake does not like this type of behavior from his mom since he was embarrassed by it. But you also have to think the pros and cons. If Jake is able to set clear boundaries with his mom and say, this is not your home, this is like my girlfriend's home, all this stuff, set clear boundaries with her expectations. No, you can't get a key, you can't just come whenever, all this, then I think, yeah, obviously move forward with Jake, even though it might be a little bit weird. If he's able to set those boundaries that you ask for, then I don't see a problem. But if he's not able to stand up to his mom or not set boundaries, then that could cause a lot of problems down the road, which is that something you want to deal with? Let's read some comments. I'm not surprised you're rethinking it. This is just the start of her overbearing interference. Exactly. You really need to see how he handles his mother going forward. He needs to be able to be firm with her, and if he's not, her BS will escalate. The more lenient you are, the more she's going to take and take and take and take. And once she's reached a certain point of taking, she's not going to want to go back. So you really have to be careful here. Yeah, this right here, this is key. Seems like Opie has it handled, but I'd keep a real close eye on the situation. Exactly. Can you imagine after they marry? What a great mother-in-law to have. She's exactly the type of mother-in-law who will turn wedding planning into a nightmare where she and her needs need to be centered. Exactly, dude. I've read a lot of like wedding drama stories. Oh. Wait. This sounds like that's where it's gonna head in a couple of years if they get married and he doesn't set clear boundaries with her. There's gonna be some wedding drama, crazy stuff. And if they get pregnant, forget about it. Every single aspect of your life moving forward will probably be affected. So it's really on like your boyfriend's ability to either cut his mom off and his parents off if it's too much, or just set boundaries. I think probably first is good to set boundaries, set clear boundaries, clear expectations. If she crosses them, then consider cutting her off. But yeah, that's my advice. My mom tried to take my adult card because it made her feel embarrassed. So I'm in college and I finally got my own card this year. Nothing fancy, it just helps me manage my money without asking anyone for every little thing. I was honestly proud because it felt like a small grown-up milestone. Last weekend, my mom came with me to the mall to buy stuff for my younger cousin's birthday. The plan was simple. We grab a gift, maybe some snacks, and leave. We get to the store and she picks a bunch of things, not just a gift, like 3 outfits, shoes, a toy, and then randomly adds stuff for herself too. I quietly ask if we're staying in budget because I know how these trips go. She says, yes, yes, don't worry. At checkout, the total comes way higher than I expected. I mean, what do you mean? If you get more than you expect, the total's gonna be higher than you expected. She looks at the bill and then immediately looks at me like a solution just appeared. She goes, put it on your card. Put it on your card. First of all, this is how you create debt. This is how you create debt and bad spending habits. You should only spend what you have. So just because you put it on a card, I assume this is a credit card, just because you put it on a card, it doesn't mean you just never pay for it. You have to pay for it at the end of the month. So you should never ever spend more than you have. The credit card should just be used to build your credit score, get points, and any other benefits like that. It should not be used as imaginary money that you don't have to pay back. That's how you think you're gonna get into credit card debt, and the interest on that is like 20% plus. So not a good idea. Don't just put it on card. I tell her I can't because I'm on a tight student budget and didn't plan for this. Exactly, dude. When it comes to your finances, bro, you have to put your foot down because this is your life and your finances, especially on credit. That could stack up and the interest really builds and it affects your credit score. So you really have to be firm. She laughs like I'm joking. Why do you even have a card if you can't use it for family stuff? I say I can pay for the actual gift, but not everything else. That's literally what we came for. She gets annoyed right there in front of the cashier. Wow, so you're counting money with your own mother now. Come on, dude, don't use the mother card. That's so manipulative. Well, I raised you, I'm your mother. Okay, you chose to have me. You chose to have me. Did I choose for you to have me? No, you chose it. So why are you acting like you're doing me a favor?
You serious?
You chose to have me, so then it's your responsibility. I raised you, and this is how you act. Bruh, then don't have kids. I try to stay calm and repeat that I'm happy to cover the gift, and that's it, because that was the plan. Then she says the wildest thing. Fine, give me the card. I'll keep it with me so I can use it when needed. You're clearly not responsible enough. Hold on, let's run it back and read it again. Fine, give me the card. As in, give me OP's card, the one that does not belong to the mom. I'll keep it with me so I can use it when needed. On what? Random snacks and junk from the freaking store? You're clearly not responsible enough. The only one not responsible here is the mom. Is she crazy? Like what? Dude, literally, like what? I tell her no. She starts doing that dramatic sigh. I raised you so many years. 20 years I raised you. I sacrificed so much. Why are you guilt tripping me, bro? You chose to have me. Come on, dude. Yeah, I'm grateful, but if you're gonna try to guilt trip me, then I'm gonna put my foot down. I tell her no. Then she starts doing the dramatic sigh thing and says to the cashier, kids these days are so selfish. They forget who paid for their whole life. We end up paying separately. She sulks the entire ride home and later tells my aunt that I refuse to help family. Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Even though I literally paid for the gift we came to buy. The funniest part, she didn't want help. She wanted control. Ooh. OP is smart, dude. OP is clocking her mom. The moment I said I have a boundary, suddenly my card became community property and my budget became a personal insult. Honestly, this exact kind of situation is why I went with Fizz in the first place. It's a student card that only lets me spend what I already have so I don't get pushed into surprise debt just because someone else decides my balance is a family fund. And yeah, it still helps me build credit, but on my terms. Okay, Loki, why did that sound like an ad read? Why did that sound like an ad read? Is that just me? I don't know. I could be tripping, but that sounded like an ad read. Get out of here. Anyone else deal with parents who think your money is still their money just because they raised you? How do you set limits without turning every small thing into a guilt festival? Bro, if you have parents that think your money is their money because they raised you, cut them off. Cut them off. How do you set limits? You just tell them, dude, this is not your money, this is my money. Yeah, you raised me, I'm grateful. Obviously, if I have more money, I'll help you, easy. But I'm a student, I have a budget, and I can't afford to spend money on snacks and random stuff that I don't need. And I don't want you to guilt me saying, oh, but family this. Come on, you're supposed to be the adult here. Let's read the comments. I'm curious to see if anyone else felt like that last part was an ad read. She's absolutely terrible to try to embarrass you into overspending. It's very important to pay off your credit card. I'm glad that you were responsible and did not let her get you into a bad situation. I'm sorry that you had to go through that. Completely agree. Funny thing is, she embarrassed herself. The clerk is probably telling everyone what a beach mother who was bullying her son and trying to steal his money. LOL. Oh, shit, why did I think OP was a girl? Exactly. OP is still a young adult who is learning that just because you felt embarrassed doesn't mean you caused it, and their surroundings can tell when someone is trying to make another person small. It's unfortunate that their mom still hasn't learned not to act like a manipulative berater, but I'm so proud of Opie for standing up for herself even when it was uncomfortable. I mean, this is a young adult, probably fresh in college, with enough sense to realize that a fancy credit card / debit card isn't a windfall, and they're learning legit money management and budgeting. They're a fucking unicorn. Miss should be floating around and gloating about how amazing their kid is. Instead, she's a bully. Yeah, this person is very financially responsible, and especially being able to stand up to your family. Bravo. Kid's got way more sense than his mom and definitely should not feel bad. As y'all have said, only one who came off bad here is her. Yeah, I agree. I'm curious to see if anyone felt like it was an ad. Yeah, I can't find any comments. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Was that just me or did you guys also kind of pick up on that? Last story of the day. The mom who demanded my boyfriend give up his seat on his own birthday dinner. Delusional. So my 22 female boyfriend turned 23 last weekend and we went to this small Italian place that's a first come, first serve. It's one of those cozy spots where the tables are way too close together so you can basically hear every conversation around you. I don't know why I found that funny. I just love eavesdropping on people, personally. Huh? Anyway, we finally get a table after waiting 30 minutes, order a bottle of wine, and this family walks in, mom, dad, 2 kids, and a teenage boy who looks like he'd rather be anywhere else. The hostess tells them it'll be a 25-minute wait. The mom immediately starts complaining that her kids are hungry and that it's ridiculous people are taking up tables when they're just couples. What, do couples not matter too? I guess she probably means they're taking up 4 seats when it's just a couple. Yeah. Guess who she points at? Yep, us. Oh, I would low-key like to be in this situation. Like, okay, come, what are you gonna do? You gonna kick me out of my seat? Come on, dude, get out of here. Karen. She comes over, leans on our table. Why the fuck did the waitress let her even into the restaurant? And goes, you two don't mind moving so my family can sit, right? You can wait a bit longer, you're young. I literally thought she was joking. My boyfriend laughed awkwardly and said, actually, it's my birthday. She goes, then you should be a gentleman enough to offer your seat to a mother with hungry children. Okay, why don't you cook for your children? Or why don't you make a reservation? Or why don't you wait 25 minutes? 3 solutions right there. The waitress stepped in and told her she can't ask people to give up tables. The mom rolled her eyes, huffed off, and whispered loud enough for us to hear, people these days have no respect. Her husband looked mortified. Okay, at least the husband has like some sense. The rest of the night, she kept glaring over like we'd personally ruined her evening. So yeah, happy birthday, babe. Here's a free side of audacity. Dude, dead ass, dude. I feel like, honestly, I would kind of like that because I'd be like, it's a good story. And second of all, I feel like I've never had a true Karen interaction. Maybe I can't really remember off the top of my head, but I would just love to have a Karen interaction where they just say some straight BS and I'm just like, this is my seat. Oh, I would like that. Oh, like rub it in their face.
Nice.
That would be the best birthday gift. Oh my gosh, dude, it's lightning and thunder. Well, the kids can wait even longer then. They're younger. Oh, bro, that would have been great to say. If her kids are so hungry, they literally can't wait even just 25 minutes to eat, they got bigger problems. Yeah, yeah. Oh, why are your kids so hungry that they can't wait 25 minutes to eat? Do you feed them? Should I call CPS? Oh, it's always after the fact where you get all the good ideas. The manager should have told her to leave and never come back. Yeah, why do you think you could have this audacity and treat people like they're your personal servants or slaves? Like, oh, I really don't understand people like this. Like, be nice and be a nice, normal person. And I'm sure majority of people will be nice around you, except for like the people like this that will have that audacity and Karen. Like, just be nice, be normal. Most people will treat you the similar way. Bet you everyone in that restaurant that saw that disliked that woman from the get-go and probably felt bad for her kids and for the husband. People these days have no respect. Yep, just look at the entitled idiot who said that. LMAO, yeah, look in the mirror. The fuck? And guys, make sure to subscribe, comment, and let me know what kind of videos you want me to do next. Bye-bye, guys.